What's happening, party people? Well, as you can see, I am in a hotel room. I ran out of, I guess I would say, working time out west. I need to get down to South Texas to meet her so that we can finish up organizing to get ready to do our nuptials at the Justice of the Peace and have a little reception for our marriage ceremony. Mita is determined to make this a special, beautiful ceremony, even though it's at the Justice of the Peace and reception. You know, she asked me a month or two ago, hey, what kind of budget do I have? I told her $500. You know, we're getting married at the Justice of the Peace. And that's going like a car restoration project. So we've busted that budget. But hey, she's kind of amazing where she's determined. She's a hopeless romantic. She's determined to make this special. And every day that I stay, lack of a better word, engaged with her, our relationship is continually on a daily basis. I'm more and more amazed at the person that she is. Right now, she's going through a tough time where her dad's gone into hospice. And those of you that understand stresses in life, changing jobs, big stress in life, man, that could blow somebody's cork. Getting married, divorces are stressful for people. That can blow people's cork, even though it's special. I know people that got married didn't last a week, you know, because it was just an emotional time for them. Moving, she's going to be moving to Cincinnati with me. That's stressful. So, you know, she's going through some stressful things, and she is handling this stuff in a very gracious way. Spend a lot of time with her dad and family, stuff like that. So I guess appreciating this decision more and more every day, that I'll be able to spend the rest of our lives together as a couple. So, hey, I wanted to say that. So yesterday morning, I left Port Hueneme out in California, close to Ventura. I left there about 4:30 in the morning. Google Maps said that was a 16-hour, 16-minute drive. My travel time was 18 and a half hours. Left there around 4:30, arrived here in Clovis, New Mexico, got a room for the night about 11 o'clock. Had about a 2-hour stop in Albuquerque, got some stuff out of storage, swapped the hood on Panther. And now I got another travel day here, about 12 hours down to South Texas. I'll be going through Lubbock, Dallas, San Antonio. So if somebody's in that pathway, they want to have lunch or something like that, let me know. Stop, hang out a few minutes and do that. Then I'll be in South Texas with Panther, and I probably, I guess, have a week off. You know, 2 travel days down there, and then 3-4 days till we have our ceremony, and then the weekend, and maybe 2 travel days to Cincinnati, maybe 3 with a trailer. So we'll see how that goes. But hey, I'm excited about what's going on this week. Let me know if you guys think I should live stream this thing on the Patreon side. If you guys want me to do that, let me know. I'll probably make it so you don't have to be a paid member, but you will have to be registered in Patreon to see it. You know, it's kind of a personal thing, and you just don't want, you know, haters and stragglers going through there. I will say this. YouTube is doing really good with dealing with hateful, crazy comments people used to leave. Man, I don't see none of that stuff anymore. So anyway, let me finish today's video. I was in Cincinnati for a couple of days, worked on Mike's car, got some stuff done. That was fun. And hey, I gotta wrap up this little hotel visit and get on the road. I got 12 hours ahead of me. So appreciate you all watching. Thanks for your support. Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert, that's me. This video contains things that I encounter throughout the day. If for some reason I complete a task and you would like to see the details, you can click on the link in the description area below. This video also contains tips and tricks that I learned throughout the years. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. Thank you very much for watching. Time to kick off another Tinker Day. Yes, sir. We getting hot and heavy with this V70. We're going to do a timing belt, a passenger side axle, which goes through the angle gear because this is an all-wheel drive vehicle. Without further ado, let's get cracking. Open this hood. We're doing a water pump too. I'm going to check the parts. Once I know I got the parts I need, I'm going to drain the coolant and start taking this stuff apart. Work stoppage. The use of aftermarket water pumps is not approved, condoned, encouraged, or tolerated by Robert DIY. So I got to get a hold to the owner of this vehicle and see if they want to sign a disclaimer, a release of liability, or if they want to use one of the OEM pumps that I have, because I don't do aftermarket water pumps on Volvos, not even for fun. Folks, we are back. We went to go pick up an axle. They shipped us the wrong part. A front wheel drive axle instead of an all-wheel drive axle, so we had to reject that. They tried to order us another axle, which was the wrong one. Had to reject that. They said the axle we need won't be in for 4 days, so that's not going to work for us. We're going to do this timing belt, get that axle on the rebound. Timing set. I was only about 3 teeth off. Let's go ahead and start getting the rest of this stuff out of the way. Whoop, whoop. Man, that thing feels tight. Folks, we're at 246, and man, you can see the cracks in that timing belt without even bending it. This thing was due. Doesn't look like tensioner or the idler has ever been replaced on this thing, so those things probably got 246 on it, and it looks like an original OEM water pump, so glad we're doing everything. Let's keep cracking. Man, that thing left a lot of gasket material on there. Hadn't seen that much material left in a long time, but let's see how long it takes to get off, because it's OEM. Probably the original pump that came on this car. 250,000 miles. There, leaking through the weep hole. Yeah, that thing leaking through the bearing. That thing was on its way out. Caught it probably just in time, huh? Another couple thousand miles, this thing would have probably blew up. I got a bunch of chunks out. Now I gotta hit it with a light, see what's left. Hit it with a wire brush, clean it up. And I have a Volvo pump for him. He said, do it right. Well, I think I got the surface as clean as I could. Now this gasket material, let's say under a microscope, this stuff is an inch thick. Well, sometimes it peels off, and it may bring the upper layer off and leave lower layer. I don't know if you can see that angle on this piece here. The tip is thinner than the middle, so near the tip it left material on there. I couldn't see that with my eye, and I brushed it with the wire brush, but when I ran my finger around it, I could feel the bumps. I had a piece there, a piece there, and a piece down there, and a couple of the surfaces didn't feel real good, but that's probably because it's a northern car. Somebody ran water in it one time, and whenever you got a car from up north, the back 2 bolts closest to the back of the car sometimes pull metal out with them, because these bolts are sticking through the engine, and the back of them are actually exposed. They could get rust on them, and then when you take them out, they could pull some metal with them. That one took a thread with it. Another one took a little piece of a thread with it. So Yeah, I don't know what to tell you when you put these water pumps in, and if you're in the rust belt, maybe put something on the back side of it so that it don't build up rust, anti-seize or something to wipe them on the back of the bolts. Anyway, we're cleaned up, ready to go back together. I see this exhaust cam moved probably 2 or 3 teeth, so I got to make sure I get that lined up before I lock the belt in. And I'm gonna look for a hydraulic tensioner. The hydraulic tensioner they got was aftermarket, and man, I'm just not a fan of any aftermarket parts. You know, this may be perfectly fine. It is made in China. I don't know if it ever failed, but it also does not have a rebounder on it. And I don't know if the one that I took off has a rebounder. Yeah, the one that I have taken off of it is Asian, probably original, looked like it was leaking. So let me glance, see if I got one of these, and we'll put this thing back together. Wipe that out, put it back together. And yes, I have a brand new Asian one right out of the box, so that's what I'm gonna put back on there. Let's go ahead and wipe this out and put this car back together. I get everything in and torqued on properly. I think everything was over torqued, or it could have just been several years on a couple of those things. But it looks like I got the timing mark right before perfect there. I got the timing mark about perfect there, and the crank is about a, man, I don't even know if it's an eighth of a mark before perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull a hanger grenade pin, roll this thing over, and see where we end up. Okay, so I put a crank mark kind of there, scratch on that harmonic balancer to that bolt. I did notice that the harmonic balancer's missing some chunks, so that needs to be replaced soon. And I got my timing mark right on there, my timing mark on there, and I'm gonna grab my light and double check my timing mark. Oh, I can see it. It's on there, so I'm good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and put that guard on the bottom of the timing belt, fill this thing up with coolant, fire it up. Man, look at this coolant. Look like some Cracker Barrel sweet tea. I'm cupping it out of there and pouring it in here. But man, I don't even know what kind of coolant that is. Well, I have no idea what's going on here. Usually, I could get just about all the coolant back in there. My guess is this thermostat is not Volvo. It won't let the coolant into the car. Hadn't seen that in a long time. The Volvo thermostat has a bleeder jiggle pin in it that really allows you to fill this thing up. Man, I'm looking down there, and this belt has walked kind of back off of that tensioner. I don't know if I've seen that before. We'll start it up and see how it does. That thing is almost rubbing the tensioner. The water pump keeps it pushed out, but man, that thing is back pretty far. So we'll fire that up, see how that goes, but I can't even get coolant in this thing. Strange. Usually I can fill up the whole dang thing. I don't see anything leaking. That's good. I guess I'm gonna start the car and see if it'll suck my coolant down. Do, 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 do. Nothing in the way that should be a problem. Fired up and the belt is tracking good. Burping a little air out of here, so hopefully this will keep happening and we can get the rest of the coolant in here. Couple things I see. The alarm horn needs to be fixed, replaced. Rest of the heat shield needs to be installed. Little tube there needs to be put on. Thermostat, I would say replace that because this one in here is probably aftermarket. The fender well skirt, that needs to be replaced. It's cut from here all the way over. Needs a couple rivets in there. That's a good temp hold. But this thing is not really secure in here. I'm gonna loosen that and put that in better. CV axles about to be replaced. Let me put this wire in here so it don't get damaged. The ABS wire wasn't in the right holder. Let me get some pliers. Put that in right. And it's got a few other things we'll work on as we go. I have no idea why, but this airbox has a huge hole in it. Last thing I'm gonna do is try to top that off, put this battery hold clip in here and call it a night for tinkering. That's it. I'm gonna go ahead and mix this, hit the save button, get this thing uploaded, shower, pack up, hit the road, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow with another video. Thanks for watching.